Hey everybody, got another video here for you. Well, it looks like this idea isn't going to quite work out. You can't get this screw tight enough for that alone to support the whole guitar. It just wants to fall. So, and I tried like lock washers and friction washers. Yeah, that's my latest attempt was a friction washer made out of 60 grit, and that didn't work either. So it would probably require like grooved washers that where the grooves interlock as the washers rotate around. So I'm gonna have to think about this for a bit, figure out something else or something. Okay, I thought about it. This setup, and you saw me like with the guitar seated and figuring this part out. This really is like optimal for supporting the guitar while seated. It puts, the bridge right where you want it, and no matter what angle you tilt it at, it keeps the bridge right where you want it. And and then when you go this way for like the strap bar, you can go this way, but you got to kick it way the heck up. That's not really going to work, I don't think. It could be done, but it'd be kind of weird. Might turn people off. I've done a build where the thing went this way. It was actually, while I was waiting for parts for the red guitar, my first build, I took the neck from the Fender 12 and a plank of wood and made a quick and dirty 6-string out of it, and took some poster frame plastic and stuck a horn strap bar up this way, and a leg bar was over here. This is way before the swing bars and stuff, even before the twin V bars. But this kind of a strap bar really worked awesome. It really worked awesome. It was way up there, gave great support, and was so totally out of the way. It was probably, even superior to something like this that you get on a swing bar. So, and the idea in general I was thinking was you'd have this thing could pivot and hopefully it would hold with one screw. I was kind of thinking that, like, once you got the lacquer and everything, it might all kind of stick together for me. But it might not. So, and that would give you, like, adjust it and lock it at any angle. But you'd need like fancy hardware or the lacquer to stick, or a second bar and a clamp that you could clamp anywhere in order to get that kind of a thing going. So it looks like you're really just forced to go with, I have a few pre-drilled positions for my bar, and that's it, unless you want to, until I figure out something in the way of fancy hardware or something. So but the whole, like, being able to go this way and then also being able to go like this way is very cool. But flipping bar over means that it's got to all be installed with thumb screws, no like Allen drive screws. So because normally like the pivot bolt for a swing bar is an Allen drive, and then you have just like one thumb, and then a whole bunch of these things. So yeah, I can't think of a way of getting around having pre-drilled positions, which means if you're doing this kind of hardware, you're going to be using a ton of these things. And but what you would do is you do it like a position here and a position here, and like maybe a park position. But then again, you can also take the bar off. But on the other hand, where do you put the bar? If I hang 10 of these things up on display, I've got 10 bars taking up a whole shelf. So park position is probably a good idea. And then you would take the whole thing off. You'd take off the pivot thumb screw, and your locking thumb screw, and you'd flip the bar over, and you'd put it something like this. Put your pivot lock screw in, put your locking lock screw in, or thumb screws, and then you have your strap bar. So, and yeah, that makes the switch from seated to standing a little bit more involved. An extra, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe. So, it's 2 thumb screws instead of 1. So, 2 thumb screws and flip a bar instead of 1. Well, with the one, you undo a thumb screw, you swing a bar, and you do up a thumb screw. With this one, you would undo 2 thumb screws, flip a bar, and then do up 2 thumb screws. So a little bit more. Let's say twice as much. Twice as long to make the switch over. But still what I would consider reasonable. So, yeah, unless I figure out like something either with like the grooved lock washers where a single thumb screw will hold everything together. I was actually thinking a big ass piece of wood here and a big ass screw might work, but that'd be something to experiment with. And then the other thing would be like a second bar that's attached here and swings, and then has a clamp down at this end where it would clamp at various positions along this bar to get you different angles. So until I figure, or a telescoping rod or something like that, or I don't know, until I figure out something. And you don't want to be dropping like $50 worth of fancy high dollar hardware in order to make this thing work. So, because I mean the whole rest of the guitar is only about $100. So yeah, I don't really see any way around. You got to have 2 thumb screws if you're going to be flipping stuff over, and I don't see any way around just having a few pre-drilled positions. And I mean, you could always do more positions, something even shallower than 25, and maybe 1 or 2 positions between 25 and 45, and maybe something even beyond 45 degrees for somebody who wants to get the thing almost vertical, beyond classical vertical. So, but yeah, so that's where I'm at on ideas for this thing. And now the next question is am I going to use machine screws for the second screw, or am I going to go wood? And I don't know, I could go either way, but let's see, I'd have an insert here, I'd have an insert about there right next to it. I think they'll fit next to each other. And then for part would be an insert here, and that would fit. And you flip everything over. You put like an insert there. And then of course you drill as many holes as you have to in this thing in order to match up with the inserts. And that would do it. And that would use an additional thumb screw and 4 additional inserts, which I'm pretty sure I have, so I suppose I could do it that way. And it's just going to drive the production cost of the build up. Got to break a few eggs to make real mayonnaise. The more I think about it, the more I suspect that a large piece of wood, say like, let's see, the body is about this wide, so make it about that big and come all the way down to here. So a piece that was about this long and about this wide instead of this little bar here, so that you've got lots of surface area for clamping. And then instead of this little piddly thumb screw, you do a big giant wood thumb screw that's like a block, like the blocks that I used on the adjustable router sled, big old blocks. And once again, the whole idea is for clamping surface area, and that actually might work. So, I'm thinking it might be worth a try. Might be worth a try. I would have to either remove this thing and fill this hole and then re-drill it for a wood screw, a drywall screw basically. Or I could maybe cheat and put it right next to it for the test. Oh, yeah, I guess there's no way around it. It's going to be an experimental build. Alright, it's an experimental build. At least the swing bar part is. So I was thinking about it, and this clamping system is going to work fine for all positions actually. All I got to do is get the stuff to take die faster. But yeah, if you take this thing and flip it over in order to make the strap bar, that's going to work just great too, so no issues there. It looks a little kludgy, but I mean, all you could do would be like round around this a little bit, because you still want to maintain clamping surface area. You could round this a little bit, but you also want to be able to get a grip, so, and you want to maintain clamping surface area. So I don't know, I'm going to have to think about that. Maybe I'm going to find something that clamps well enough and looks a little less blocky, you might say. Okay, swing bar problem is solved, and the first coat of dye is drying, and it's probably going to take 3 coats or something, so that'll be a while. But in the meantime, we're going to need a bridge block, because there's a fair amount of gap here. So yeah, so you're like here, and let's say you're about there once you put in your 1.5 mil shim. So, and this is still screwed down. I gotta unscrew this and like set up like 1 barrel at least, so I've got a saddle to measure against and get a real straight edge instead of just the leg bar here, and get the shim for the action gauge shim for the 24th 1.5 mil, and set up all the geometry. Yeah, take a measurement. So yeah, I don't know, what's it look like to you? A little under 10. Yeah, maybe 9, something like that. Well, but that's, hold on, let me put, okay, that's with about 1.5. So yeah, we might be around 10. So, by the way, went shopping the other day, and I came with some really beautiful pine. There's like, yeah, 6 pieces. Really nice stuff. We took our time and we went through the rack and found the best of their select pine, the local Lowe's actually. And yeah, so gonna be able to build a lot of cool stuff with this. Oh my god. Let's see. Each of these is what, a 6-footer, I guess. So that's 36 board foot. So that'd be like, oh, God, I don't know if you get, how big is a foot in metric? I have no idea. Alright, so this thing is like about a 12-inch ruler, and it's about 150 each way, so it's a centering. So 300 is about a foot maybe. So yeah, let's say you need, I don't know, I'm usually looking at like, 5 something for a body blank. So yeah, you need a 1.5 for a body blank maybe. So you get 1.5, 3. You get 4 blanks out of 1 piece. And I got 6. So that's except for swing bars, which actually you might be able to get also depending on how wide your body is. That's enough for 24 guitars right there. And this stuff is beautiful too. It's compared to the New Zealand pine that I'm using now, this is denser, heavier, has slightly nicer figuring. So yeah, definitely cool, definitely cool. Enough gushing over wood. Somebody will take me for a luthier or some shit. Okay, got straight edge on the first fret. There's no nut and it wouldn't fit in the slot anyway. Got the 1.5 mil on the 24th to represent our action. And take a measurement here, and I'm reading 13 mil. So it looks like I need 13 mil worth of bridge block underneath this plate. And if I'm short, then I can always do a little brass shim, and if I'm long, I can always sand it down. And I guess I'll be going back to the longer OEM screws, because they'll probably be about the right length for going through the plate, and then going through the bridge block, and then going into the body, basically into the original screw holes that are in there now. So that ought to do it. Now if I could just find the Allen wrench for these guys. I don't know where it went. I mean, I've got more, but no, that's a screw. Oh well. The search continues. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this video. So until the next one, everybody, have a good one.